Hello everyone. It's getting to the end of July, and between the extreme heat, and these are determinate varieties of tomatoes, and the blights and whatever, but I've got some tomatoes here just like the rest of us in zone 7 that are just about finished. We've picked a ton of tomatoes, and here's some pictures that I've taken along the way. This was one of the first earliest ones when we were just getting I think these were early girls. They came out really nice. And then the Roma 3s, which are a determinate, but what a great tomato. And then we got some more above them. We've probably picked 15 pounds off of the different tomato plants. Took pictures of some of the collections of them, but they're just really starting to get tired. So what I'm going to do is pull them out because I've got some brand new plants ready to go. Now I'm going to cut the branches off because with the blight and the age, disease, whatever, I really don't want these stems getting anywhere near the compost. So we're going to put them in a tub and dump them back in the woods. Now as we pull these up, I'm going to show you it's a challenge pulling the roots out. Remember, this was all brand new soil, brand new beds, never seen tomatoes, never been used for a garden before. Absolute pristine, perfect new compost soil. And look at the root structure. No signs at all of any nematode damage. No big knobby root knots in the root. These were just fabulous. Every one of the plants are just like that. So I pulled 4 of them out because 4 of them were just finished. And now I'm going to take what's left, rake the little pieces of diseased leaves and stuff out, loosen the soil up, and start getting it ready to prepare it to have new tomatoes put right back in on top of them. Now, this is a nice general purpose organic fertilizer that I'm putting down. It comes in big bags, the brands at the box stores. And now, from Soil Cube Composted Soil People, I've got a couple of wheelbarrow full of brand new soil that I'm going to be adding. Once again, it's soil that's never seen tomatoes. Very nice, rich soil. Beautiful stuff to work with. Uh, and it's just a lot of fun to get this and grow things in it. So we're going to spread this around. And once we get a bunch of it in here, we're going to get the rake out and start blixing it in. Now remember, we've got the original composted soil. We added all the fertilizer. Then we added another inch or so of more composted soil. And now we're going to be raking all this stuff in. Now here I'm chopping it up a little bit to get a little layer there. Now that it's all ready, it's time to start planting. Now I had outside already and some of them inside brand new tomato plants going that are ready to go. A couple of them are Romas. One of them is called a Creole. The other one is a Heat Master. The Creole and the Heat Master are supposed to be great tomatoes for still setting fruit when it gets into the 90s. So they're going to be perfect for me here going into August. I'm going to dig myself a nice hole here because some of these really I should have got in earlier. Now here's a tip for you: when you've got a good sized plant and you've got a tomato cage, dig your hole, put your tomato cage in, and then rather than trying to plant the tomato and then weave the cage around the tomato, I always break lots of the stems that way. What I do is get the tomato cage in, then I take the tomato out, drop the tomato in from the top. Tremendous root growth there. We'll loosen it up a little bit. And then we're going to drop it down, weave it down in there into the bottom. Seeing we didn't break any leaves in the process. Now we can pull all the soil in and get that plant nicely tucked in so it's ready to go. This is going to be round 2 August. That'll be August into September, maybe even October. I will most likely have some round 3 tomatoes for a really late season. Now that I got that one in, I'm going to dig into the next one. I got 4 of them to do all total. Like I said, there's a Creole, a Heat Master, and a couple of Roma 3s. So I'm going to dig my tubes in, and once again I'm going to put my tomato cage in, and then I'll be lowering the plant down through the top so I don't have to worry about any of the branches or tomatoes or anything getting knocked off. Now, these were started from seed right about the same time I planted the other ones. So these are about 6 to 8 week old plants. I usually find when I plant one set of tomatoes is a good time to start the seeds of the ones to replace them, which means I need to be starting fresh seeds here shortly. These had grown right through the bottom of the pot, so I had to pull some of the tops off, loosen that root ball up some, and then once again we're going to drop it down through the top. Once we get it down through the top, buried down in that hole, we can rake in all the dirt around it. Keep that one happy. There's a few stems that are a little down low, so we'll break those off. No point in asking for new batches of disease to come moving in. So we're going to do this with all four of them. Here you can see I'm finishing up with the fourth one. That's aroma 3 there, and the one next to it's aroma 3. So I've taken four finished off, determinate, really enjoyed the tomatoes off of them, tomatoes, and pulled them out, re-enriched the soil, and got 4 more plants in. So while a lot of people are giving up on their tomatoes, saying, it's end of July, we're done. No, we're going to start a fresh batch. And now, just to keep them really happy, their first watering is going to be worm tea. I have really found that worm tea is one of the greatest fertilizers you can make. I know on my sweet potatoes, I give them worm tea, and in 2 days they look different. They are so quick to pull the nutrients out of that. Plus, with all the lack of rain that we have, the worm tea, of course, gives them some water. So these guys are getting their nice first drink with a bunch of water, and that's how we do a new batch of tomatoes.